Welcome back to CIA Declassified. Today we leave the ink of comic books from Project Colton behind and enter the elegant, smoke-filled saloons of post-war Europe. The year is 1955. The world is a chessboard where the squares are cocktail parties and the pieces are socialites with loose lips. The agency has mastered the hard power of the coup and the soft power of the press. But they discovered a third, more volatile force, the power of the secret. They realized that in high society social circles, information isn't measured by its accuracy, but by its exclusivity. If you could inject a lie into the right ear at a cocktail party, it would travel faster than any official telegram. This was the weaponization of hearsay. This was Project Rumor. The goal was narrative control through social contagion. Project Rumor utilized social infiltrators, trained assets, often from aristocratic families or the diplomatic corps, whose sole job was to attend elite parties and drop conversation seeds. A quote from a 1965 Office of Scientific Intelligence memo. The human ego is the primary vector for disinformation. By providing a target with a confidential piece of gossip, we trigger a psychological need to share that information to increase their own social standing. End quote. The gossip chains were meticulously mapped. Agency analysts used sociometric charts to identify super spreaders, individuals like socialites or journalists who had the highest number of connections across different social strata. A quote from the Social-Infiltrator manifest: Target, Madame X. Connection, Deputy Minister. Seed, the Soviet trade mission is experiencing a currency shortage. Result, trade negotiations stalled within 48 hours, end quote. In a 1954 pilot study, the agency found that a rumor whispered to 3 people in a London club reached the ears of the Foreign Office in less than 6 hours. A quote from a declassified 1956 psychological warfare manual. The effectiveness of a rumor is inversely proportional to the amount of verifiable evidence supporting it. Ambiguity allows the listener to fill in the gaps with their own fears. End quote. The project utilized the telephone game technique, where agents were instructed to slightly distort the seed each time it was shared to make the disinformation appear to have evolved naturally. Research under rumor proved that negative information about a public figure had a 70% higher retention rate than positive news, leading the agency to focus almost exclusively on character assassination through whispers. A quote from an internal field operative report: We have successfully created an atmosphere in Rome where the Soviet ambassadors are afraid to speak to their own staff for fear of being the subject of the next saloon scandal. End quote. Logs indicate that the CIA maintained a master lexicon of slang and local idioms to ensure that conversation seeds sounded authentic to the regional dialect. Historical archives reveal the agency used social heat maps to determine which villas in the south of France were the most effective echo chambers for high-level political gossip. A quote from a 1957 symposium on covert action: A whisper in a bedroom is worth 1,000 front-page headlines, end quote. Under the rumor protocols, female agents were often trained in target-specific flattery to ensure their gossip was received with the least amount of skepticism by male diplomats. The agency documented the blowback effect, where a rumor they started would travel around the world and be reported back to them as grade A intelligence by unsuspecting field offices. By 1959, the project expanded into visual rumors, where agents would leave staged evidence, like a fake letter or an out-of-place photograph, for hotel maids to find and talk about. Technical files confirm the use of subliminal suggestion during bridge games, where agents would use specific card-playing habits to signal the truth of a lie without ever explicitly stating it. But when we look for the mechanics of these lies, the declassified files become a wall of ink. For instance, the sections titled The Suggestibility Index contain the highest concentration of redactions in the entire rumor archive. Another one, the Social Psychology Exploitation section, has over 1,500 pages that are completely missing. Why is the mined viral data still the agency's guarded secret? Get ready for the theory of the echo chamber. Speculation suggests Project Rumor used social hypnosis to make diplomats leak their own secrets without knowing why. The theory claims the redactions hide the conversation seeds from 1955, alleging the agency developed a way to prime a room with specific scents or background music that made every person in it believe the next thing they heard was a divine truth. What if the rumors were ghost? A dark rumor suggests the CIA used rumor to hide the existence of a shadow government. This theory claims the redactions hide the reality inversion protocols, suggesting that every major historical event of the 1950s was actually a fabricated event designed to distract the public while the true power moved underground. Some imagine the 1,500 pages of redactions have to do with vocal frequency and hiding a method of speaking that could literally program a listener's brain, and the black bars mask the names of the master talkers. Theorists looking at the blacked-out subconscious transfer logs argue the agency was testing telepathic rumors, trying to see if a thought could be planted in a crowd without a single word being spoken. Rumor says the genetic propensity redactions hide evidence that certain families are biologically predisposed to believe and spread rumors. Oh yeah, I've definitely met some of those. And the agency has been breeding these vectors for decades. Oh my goodness. Gossip suggests the black bars in the fiction integration section hide the fact that the CIA has written every major conspiracy theory since 1955 to keep the public looking in the wrong direction. Beneath the ink of the mass casualty section, some whisper that the agency developed a rumor so psychologically devastating that it caused the 1956 Hungarian uprising to fail by making the rebels turn on one another. Theorists point to the redacted public figure protocols as proof that the CIA invented the modern paparazzi culture, specifically to provide cover for rumor assets. Some believe the activation redactions prove that several rumors planted in the 1950s were designed to remain dormant for 70 years before triggering a global social collapse. Gossip around the syntactic manipulation files suggests the CIA found a way to rewrite the French language to make its speakers more trusting of American influence. Looking at the blacked out invite list, theorists argue that the gossip chains actually included members of the Soviet Politburo, Politburo, who were working for the CIA as unconscious spies. Lastly, some suggest that the redactions surrounding the hysteria indection section is due to the fact that the agency is waiting to trigger a master rumor that will cause the global economy to collapse in a single afternoon at some time in the foreseeable future. As far as whether or not Project Rumor was a success, Tactically, it was a terrifying success. The agency proved they could dismantle a person's reputation, a trade deal, or a political movement using nothing but whispers. The gossip chain showed that the truth is fragile and the lie is resilient. Strategically, it was a dangerous success. It created a culture of paranoia within the diplomatic world that eventually bit the agency back. By the early 1960s, nobody trusted anyone, including the American sources, leading to an intelligence fog that took a few years to clear. As far as technological and operational breakthroughs go, the mouth of the abyss changed the landscape of psychological warfare. By sociometric mapping, the birth of modern social network analysis, identifying the hubs in any human group. Information decay modeling, scientific formulas to predict how long a lie will remain effective. Covert persona development, the creation of the social chameleon training program for field agents, and disinformation shielding, techniques to train friendly diplomats how to spot and neutralize a rumor attack. Project Rumor shows us that the most dangerous weapon isn't the one you see, it's the one you tell your best friend. As the files reveal, in the world of the agency, once a secret is spoken, it's no longer yours. It's property. Thanks for listening, and join us next time as we examine Project LifeLog. In 2003, DARPA launched a initiative to create an automated digital diary of everything a human being does, says, or sees. Project LifeLog was the blueprint for the modern social media landscape. We'll uncover the narrative capture protocols, the GPS tracking manifest, and the exact moment the agency realized that they didn't need to spy on you if they could get you to record your own life for them. Join us next time for the eternal record. In the meantime, I'll see you in the archives.